Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise. Tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are fashioning a purifying, detoxifying, standing flow to flush out all those lingering naughties after the holiday. As always, play when you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to set up for today's class in a down dog frame. Make your way down, maybe beginning in 4-point kneeling. Check that your hands are underneath your shoulders, fingers nice and wide, lots of space between them. Knees stacking underneath your hips. When you're ready, ease your way into a down dog by tucking your toes under and beginning to float your bum up to the sky. Maybe begin with a really slow pedal, a forward tracking pedal, bending one knee slowly, extending the other leg, and beginning to warm up through the back chain of the legs. Keeping your bum pumped up nice and high towards the sky, belly button pulled into center. Then when it feels like the back chain of your legs is sufficiently released, begin to hold your down dog, thinking of almost pulling your head through as if you wanted to tap nose to knee and hold a nice high piked position. Holding your down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then maybe easing the way onto the tips of your fingers, finding a nice spider fingertip down dog, and begin to bend and extend both knees in unison, trying to anchor through the heels every time you extend the legs. We're going to use the bent motion, your relaxed dog, to take a little hop towards the top end of the mat. Landing maybe just in front of your fingertip line, begin to bend and extend the legs in unison as you come into a working Uttanasana forward fold. Maybe hands on the floor, maybe hands on your shins, maybe hands on the tops of your thighs, depending on where your range of motion is today. Then maybe hold your forward fold, maybe swaying the weight back and forth between the balls and the heels of your feet. We'll do our first round nice and slow, just to ease up. We're going to find our way from our forward fold into a warrior three. Maybe bleeding up into a tabletop line, arms alongside your body, as you float your left leg behind you, giving me a soft reach through both the fingertips and the toes, while trying to keep your hips and your shoulders nice and level. Then bend the lead leg, take a big warrior two lunge step back, open up the arms into T, maybe wiggling your lead leg a little bit forward and trying to get a little bit more drop down through your thighs. Tap the wall in front, tap the wall behind, keep your arms at about shoulder height, palms facing down with your gaze steady over your front forefinger. Look for that little drop down through the pelvis. Then keeping this nice and wide stance through the legs, we're going to bleed our way into a wide triangle. Straighten up the lead leg, back leg is still anchored, and we're going to keep it anchored at 90 today. You're going to think of reaching forward, popping up the back hip, bleeding all the way down to maybe tap your shin and pause here, forging a T-frame through the arms, or you're going to try to take a tap to the mat, but this time, instead of in front, we're going to shoot for behind. So maybe fingertips to floor, or maybe palm to floor. You could also place a block, maybe on the outside of the leg, and then use that to support your frame. Keep pulling up from the kneecap along your quad on the lead leg. Then extend your triangle by bringing the top arm nice and close to your ear. Hold that delicious stretch from the back hip through the rib, through the line of the arm. Then use this frame to come into a side angle by simply bending the lead leg and pausing here. Keep that extension through the top arm. Look for that long line through the back leg, through the rib, through the arm. Then begin to rotate by placing your top hand on the floor, maybe peeling the back heel off the mat, dropping your hips down towards the floor and rotating towards your lead leg, maybe floating up your right arm towards the sky. From here, we're going to take a little step up to the top of the mat and we're going to come straight into a chair, Utkatasana. So maybe place both hands on the mat, step up the back leg, legs flush along the midline if you can manage it. Sit your weight down into your bum and your heels and bring your hands into prayer in front of your heart. Hold, feel that little burn in the tops of your thighs. Stay here or take a little rotational twist to the right, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your front knee and pausing here. Keeping your belly quite close to the tops of your thighs. Then untwist your trunk, stand up nice and tall, the feet are flush along the midline and you're going to open up your arms into a little cactus frame. Keeping the legs squeezing in towards the midline, tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock and find a little stretch in the lower belly. Then begin to dynamically tap the two elbows together in front and open back up. So you're going to keep opening and closing through the arms. Then the next time you bring the two elbows together in front, you're going to overlay the right into the left and you're going to bring yourself into a little eagle arm, Garudasana. Keep the eagle arm and think of your chair. So sit back into your bum and your heel and come back. Do that maybe 3 times. Coming maybe into an eagle chair and stopping here. Or maybe you'd like to try the full expression of Garudasana Eagle by taking your right leg, crossing it over the left, maybe just toe to floor. Or maybe you'd like to hook around the back of your calf and then sit back into your chair as you come into the full expression of Eagle Garudasana. Looking maybe through your almost prayer-like hands to the wall in front of you. Then unwrap your legs, stand up nice and tall. Take a big breath in. Take your left leg, think knee to nose. We're coming in a hand to big toe, so you can either use your left hand or you could use a belt or a strap. You're going to reach for your left big toe and see if you can extend the leg out in front of you in the A position. Uttita Hasta Padangustasana A. Look for balance, look for control. Then see if you can keep this stance, but you're going to twist towards your lead leg. So now you're going to grab opposite hand to big toe. As you come into bird of paradise, maybe floating the other arm behind you as you open up through the trunk. And you can keep a little micro bend in your stabilizing leg. Find your way back to the standing frame, standing up nice and tall. Out your chin towards your chest. Peel down, maybe into a tabletop stretch. Hands on the tops of your thighs. We're going to ease our way back into our down dog to rinse and repeat on side 2. Soften through your knees, place your hands on the floor, step or hop it back into your down dog. Pedal it out. Use a forward tracking motion, bending one knee, extending the other leg. Maybe the legs are sufficiently warm and you find that you can get more drop down through the heels this time. Then hold your down dog stretch. Think of forming a beautiful triangular, quite an acute triangle between the arms and the legs. Feed your nose through as if you wanted to tap your knees. Then ease your way onto the tips of your fingers and begin to bend and extend both legs in unison, trying to get a full drop down through the heels as you extend through the legs. Keeping belly to spine the whole time that you're playing. You're going to use the little bending motion to step or hop to the top of your mat, landing softly on the balls of your feet. Then begin to bend and extend the legs from the forward fold position, trying to get as much drop down through the crown as you can. Then hold your forward fold, whether your hands are on the floor or whether you're connected higher up along the chain of your legs. Maybe playing with that weight placement in your feet. When you're ready, you're going to find your way from here into a warrior three, and this time we're going to float the right leg behind it. So maybe come up into a tabletop line, arms alongside your side, or you can float them out in front if you prefer. Begin to slide your right leg out behind you, shooting for that beautiful long line through the spine, looking to keep your shoulders and your hips nice and even. Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Bend your lead leg, take a big warrior 2 step back, maybe starting to wiggle your legs further apart as you settle into the warrior 2 frame. Back leg is open at 90, and you've got knee over ankle on the lead leg without collapsing your knee in towards the midline. Keep your gaze steady over your front forefinger. Try to get a little bit more drop down through the pelvis maybe. Then straighten up the lead leg, prepare for your triangle. Somebody's pulling you forward, pop out the back hip. Maybe finding a resting spot on your shin, or maybe trying to find a connection to the floor on the outside of your lead leg today. Use a block if you need to. Hold your open triangle for a few breaths. Uttita Trikonasana. We're keeping quite a wide stance on the triangle today. Then see if you can bring that top arm closer towards your ear. Look for the stretch through the ribs, through the top arm. Then begin to extend that stretch by bending your lead leg, dropping down through the pelvis as you find a modified side angle. Now try to stretch from the back ankle through the line of the leg, through the line of the ribs and your overhead arm. Now let's rotate the lunge, tucking, bringing the back heel off the floor as you tuck the toes under. Rotate to the trunk, plant your right hand on the floor and begin to rotate towards your lead leg, opening up the arms into a soft T-like frame. Try to drop down nice and low through the pelvis. When you're ready, you're going to find your way from here into your chair. So maybe place both hands on the floor, step up, try to bring the legs flush along the midline, and then drop down, weight into your bum and your heels as you bring the hands to prayer in front of your heart. Maybe active elbows, hands pressing firmly into one another. Stay here or take a little rotational twist, hooking to the outside of your right knee, hands in prayer. Maybe try to twist to the other side, bringing it to the left. My bad, we did the right on the first side, so we should be playing left. You're going to bleed your way from here into a standing frame. And you're going to open up your arms into a cactus frame. Try to keep that nice tall stance with the legs squeezing into center. Tap the two elbows together in front. And then open back up. Try not to drop the elbow line, so trying to keep your arms at about shoulder height as you tap and open. Then the next time you find yourself coming into the tap position, cross the left arm or overlay the left arm on top of the right. Find a little eagle bind. Sit back into your chair and back up. So finding your little eagle chair. Maybe this is where you'd like to stay on your next drop down. Or maybe you'd like to come into the full expression of eagle by taking your left leg, crossing it over the right. Maybe hooking to the outside of your calf, or maybe tapping toe to floor and then take a seat. Looking through your eagle hands to the wall in front of you. Then unbind. Give the legs a little shake up. If you need to, we're going to come to that hand to big toe position. So when you're ready, take a big breath in, bring the right leg up, grab hold of your big toe with the left hand, with the right hand, my bad, and extend the leg out in front. Just trying to look for that sense of evenness through the shoulders and the hips as you try to fully extend the right leg out in front. Stay here or take the twist in the opposite direction. So now we're grabbing opposite hand to big toe and find your way into bird of paradise. So you're thinking almost arrow-like twist through the trunk. Then stand up nice and tall. Shake the legs out. You've still got a nice flush stance. Place your hands on the tops of your thighs. Fold forward into a tabletop. Look for a beautiful sense of lengthening through the hips, the spine, the line of the neck. Soften through the knees. Take a little hop back. You know where you're going to now. Let's begin to look for flow. Find your down dog. Take it for a pedal. Legs should feel progressively warmer every time you find your way into this down dog frame. Hold your down dog, look for the stretch. Breathe. Begin to dynamically bend and extend the legs in unison, trying to get a full anchoring line every time you extend the legs. Then using your bend to maybe come onto the tips of your fingers, take a little hop up. Begin to dynamically bend and extend through the legs from your forward fold position. Then maybe holding the fold, maybe playing with that weight placement in your feet. Look for that delicious stretch. When you're ready, think about how you're going to set yourself up in a warrior three line, floating the left leg behind you. Maybe peeling up into table, arms alongside your body, or float it out in front. Start to slide the left leg behind you. Try to stay as even as you can through the shoulders and the hips. Keep belly to spine as you find warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. Then bend your lead leg, take a big warrior two, step back, open up the arms into T, maybe wiggle the legs surreptitiously further apart, and really try to open up beautifully through the pelvis. Tap the wall in front, tap the wall behind. Breathe. Look for strength in your warrior. Then straighten up the lead leg. Reach forward. Ease your way into triangle, maybe finding a resting spot on your shin or taking a floor grounding on the outside of your lead leg. Then bring that top arm closer to your ear. Extend your triangle. Tap the wall in front and pause. Keep drawing up the energy from the knee along the quad of your lead leg. Now bend your lead leg and drop down through the pelvis as you find your way into a side angle, keeping that extension through the top arm. Look for the stretch through the back leg, through the rib, through the line of the arm. Then rotate your lunge, tucking the toes on the back foot under, bringing the heel off the floor and rotating towards your lead leg. Dropping down nice and low through the pelvis. You're going to take a step right into your chair from here, placing both hands maybe on the floor to find purchase, then hands to prayer. Weight into your bum and your heels. We're twisting right. When you're ready, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your knee. Untwist your trunk. Try to keep the feet flush along the midline as you open up your arms into cactus. Look for that tiny little tilt to the 12 o'clock position through the pelvis as you begin to draw the two elbows together in front, preparing the arms and the shoulders. When you're ready, you're going to cross or overlay the right arm into the left. Take a seat. Maybe giving yourself maybe 3 preparatory seats. And then maybe holding the eagle chair, or maybe coming into the full expression, crossing the right leg over the left, maybe hooking your toes along the outside of the lead calf, and then looking through your eagle hands, maybe to the wall in front of you. Garudasana, eagle. Then untwist your eagle. Take a little shake out if you need to. We're going to find a hand to big toe, extending the left leg out in front. So think knee to nose on the left. Use your middle index finger and thumb to take a big toe lock, or maybe you'd like to use a strap to bind around the toe or maybe the foot. And find your A-line stretch. Maybe this is enough work for you, or maybe you'd like to increase the detoxifying that we're shooting for by taking a little twist, grabbing opposite hand to foot, looking for that balance, looking for that control as you open up into bird of paradise. When you're ready, you're going to find your way from here into a table fold. Legs flush along the midline, placing the hands on the tops of your thighs. Peeling down, maybe pushing off the tops of your thighs, maybe keeping those elbows nice and soft as you find your fold. When you're ready, you're going to step or hop back, find your way into down dog and work it. Giving me a pedaling motion, so one leg bending, the other leg extending. Holding your down dog stretch. Looking to feed your head through as if you wanted to tap your nose to your knee. Keeping belly to spine the whole time. Then maybe easing onto the tips of your fingers and beginning to bend and extend the two legs in unison, playing with more of a relaxed down dog frame. Use the bending knee motion to step or hop up, coming straight into a working forward fold, bending and extending the legs in unison while trying to connect your hands to the floor or the legs. Then maybe holding your forward fold steady, maybe playing with that weight placement in the feet. Looking for that delicious stretch, creating work for yourself. Think about how you're going to find your way into a warrior 3 line from here, and this time we're floating right leg behind. Peel up maybe into a tabletop line, arms in front or alongside your body. Begin to float the right leg behind you, and today we're just working with a soft reaching toe line on that back leg. Keeping as steady as you can through the shoulders and the hips. Then bend your lead leg, take a big warrior 2 step. Wiggle your legs surreptitiously apart. Look for that drop down through the pelvis. Check that you're not dropping the back arm. So if you need to, take a little sneak peek back. Align yourself, settle into your warrior. Tap the wall in front, tap the wall behind. Keep your gaze steady over your front forefinger. Then keeping that wide stance, begin to straighten the lead leg. Somebody's pulling you forward. Ease your way into your triangle frame, nice and wide on the legs today. Either relaxing to your shin or maybe finding purchase on the ground to the outside of your lead leg today. Breathe. Keep drawing out the energy on the quad, on the lead leg. Then bring that top arm closer to your ear and extend your triangle line. Reach with your fingertips for the wall in front of you. Think about how you're going to use this extended triangle to find your way into an extended side angle. So just bend the lead leg and you're in the right position, dropping down nice and low through the pelvis, holding your extended side angle. Then float the back heel off the floor, start to rotate through the hips, plant the right hand on the floor and start to twist towards your lead leg, coming into a rotated lunge, trying to drop down nice and low through that pelvis. Think about how you're going to use this line to step up and find your way into chair. So maybe both hands onto the floor, try to stick those feet flush along the midline if you can, and then sit the weight back, floating your hands to prayer, actively pushing into those palms. Stay here, we'll take a twist to the left, Hooking the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Try to keep some weight into your bum and your heels. Parshva Utkatasana, rotated chair. Then bleed up into a nice tall standing frame, still squeezing the energy between the inner thighs together. And open up the arms into a cactus-like frame. Keeping the little tilt to the 12 o'clock position as you begin to open and close through the elbows, tapping them together and then opening them up. The next time the two elbow points touch, hold. Maybe overlay left into right. Keeping those arms nice and tall. Start to prepare for your eagle chair. Keeping the eagle bind through the arms and just pushing the weight back into your bum and your heels as you take a seat. Maybe this is where you want to end in your eagle chair. Or maybe you're feeling the full expression today and you'd like to cross the left leg over the right. Maybe big toe to floor, maybe hooking to the outside of your calf. And then just taking a seat as you settle into eagle, Garudasana. Looking through your bound hands, making your drishti, the wall, on the other side of your hands. Then unbind, take a wiggle if you need it. We're going to find a hand to big toe position on the right. So bending the right knee, reaching with the hand on the same side of the body, so right hand to right big toe. Maybe your support hand is resting at your side. Maybe you've got it on your hip. Maybe you opened up into T. Stay here or take a little detoxifying twist. Reaching opposite hand to foot. Trying to maintain your sense of balance as best you can. Step the 2 feet flush along the midline. Place your hands on the tops of your thighs. Coming into a little forward fold to hold. One more time we're going to flow through, and this time we're going to look for an almost seamless flow as we play right and then left. You know where you're going to, listen to the cues, follow along. Bend your knees, take a little hop or a step back. Find your pedaling down dog, bending one leg, extending the other. Hold your down dog stretch. Work the arms, work the legs. Look for that inversion of the blood in your head. Hold the down dog frame, but find your way into the tips of your fingers. Begin to dynamically bend and extend the legs in unison, looking for that drop down through the heels. Use the bend to take a little hop forward. Work your forward fold, bending and extending the legs in unison while trying to ground your hands either to the floor or maybe higher up along the chain of your legs. Hold your forward fold. Play with the weight placement in your feet. Come to stillness. Think about your warrior 3 frame that's coming next. You're going to sweep up the left leg behind you. Come into table. Sweep the leg behind you. Reach through your fingertips. Reach through the toe. Try to stay as stable as you can through the shoulders and the hips. Then bend your lead leg. Open up the arms into T and settle into warrior 2. Maybe trying to get a little bit more of a wider stance between the legs if you can. Keep that wide frame and set up your triangle by straightening up your lead leg, reaching forward, starting to drop down, maybe connecting to your shoulder outside of your lead leg. Extend the top arm, bring it closer to your ear. Pause, draw up the energy on the front leg. Then bend the lead leg and settle into an extended side angle. Pause. Begin to rotate through the trunk, bring the back heel off the floor, plant the left hand under your left shoulder and rotate towards your lead thigh, finding a twisted lunge. We're going to step up straight into a low prayer chair from here, maybe placing both hands on the floor, step it up, the legs nice and flush, hands to prayer. Wait until your bum and your heels. Work those legs. Stay here. We'll take a twist to the right. Hooking your elbow to the outside of your lead leg. Try to keep the weight into your bum and your heels. When you're ready, untwist your trunk. Keep the legs sandwiched together as you open up into a narrow mountain. Opening up the arms into cactus. Tap the two elbows together and open back into cactus. Maybe doing that for 2 or 3 rounds. Then the next time you find yourself in the tap position, overlay the right elbow into the right. Take a little sit back into chair and stand back up. Prepare for your eagle chair. Maybe you want to pause in your eagle chair, or maybe you'd like to try the full eagle. Crossing the right leg over the left, tucking to the outside of your calf, and taking a nice seat. Looking through your bound hands to the wall in front of you as you settle into your eagle or your eagle chair. Untwist the hands and the legs, stand up nice and tall. Hand to big toe on the left. Your first bind is on the same side. So same hand to big toe, left hand, left big toe. Find balance, find control. Then switch it up by changing hands. As you come into bird of paradise, trying to bind opposite hand to big toe. Then stand up nice and tall, legs along the flush line, legs flush along the midline. Place the hands on the tops of your thighs. Come into a table fold, maybe soft elbows, lengthening through your spine, your neck. Soften through the knees, hands on the floor. Step or hop back. Find your way into your down dog pedal. Last time on the left. Body should be nicely warm. You should be feeling that purifying process taking place. Hold your down dog. Feel that delicious stretch the arms and the legs. Come onto the tips of your fingers. Begin to bend and extend the legs in unison. Looking for that full drop down through your heels every time you extend the legs. Then the next time you bend, take a little hop up if you can, and then begin to bend and extend from the forward fold position. Hands to floor or hands connected higher up along the chain of your legs. Hold the fold. Maybe playing with the weight placement in your feet. Folds, bends and twists, so great for purifying and detoxifying. Then hold steady. Think about your warrior 3 that comes next. We're going to float the right leg up behind us. Bleed up into a tabletop position, arms in front or alongside your body. Slide the right leg behind you. Soft toe line today. Reach for the wall behind you. Shoulders, hips nice and squared. Bend your lead leg. Take a big warrior 2 step back. Arms open into a T-like frame. Tap the wall behind you, tap the wall in front. Drop down nice and low through the pelvis. Wide triangle comes next. Straighten up the lead leg. Start to reach forward. Maybe finding a resting spot on your shin or on the outside of your lead leg. And maybe extend that top arm, bring it closer to your ear. Bend your lead leg, drop that pelvis down towards the floor as you find your way into an extended side angle. Keep on stretching through the line of the top arm and that back leg. Then rotate your lunge. Tuck your back toe and bring the heel up off the floor. Rotate towards your lead leg. Pause here. Belly quite close. In fact, sandwich right against your lead thigh. You're going to find your way straight into a chair seat from here. Maybe both hands to the floor. Step those legs up nice and flush. Weight into your bum and your heels. Hands to prayer. Stay or take a twist to the left. Left elbow to the outside, rather right elbow to the outside of left knee. Sounds a bit like twist. All right. You're going to unbind. Keep the legs flush along the midline as you peel up. Tilt the pelvis slightly to the 12 o'clock position. Find that stretch into the lower belly. Begin to tap the two elbows together and then open back up into your almost Mexican cactus frame-like position. And the next time you tap the elbows, find your way into eagle. So left overlays into right. Take a seat. And then stand back up nice and tall. Prepare for your eagle chair. Stay here or take a detoxifying twist, grabbing opposite hand to toe, or maybe you just want to reach around the ball of your foot as you come into your bird of paradise. Then find a nice, tall, narrow stance. Hands on the tops of your thighs. Give me that little tilt. Start to fold forward, releasing the tilt. Holding your tabletop stretch. Then ease your way into narrow mountain to close off your detoxifying, purifying practice for today. Squeezing the energy between the legs together, giving me an active press of pushing into the hands, and just thanking yourself for making the time to come and play and detox with me. Namaste to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, keep it light.